Hey guys, I want to let you know that our medical gear is back in stock. You can find it at tacticalrifleman.com. We've got Cat 7 tourniquets. You know you need to have one of them, but we also got our TR EDC med kits. These are vacuum sealed, packed by North American Rescue. They have got their 4-inch mini responder dressing, a 2-pack of hyphen vented chest seals, roll of 100 inches of 100-mile-an-hour tape, duct tape for sealing those wounds and stuff, set of large gloves, and then if you get the basic kit, it's got a roll of compressed gauze, literally a whole roll of gauze for packing wounds in that little pack right there, vacuum sealed. If you go with the advanced kit, it is filled with quick clot gauze. Same thing, it's gauze, it's just impregnated with the quick clot agent. Again, good stuff, vacuum sealed, approved by TSA to carry on planes, going to schools, kids' book bags, whatever. You can check them out at tacticalrifleman.com. Go to our store there. Hey guys, I want to let you know that our medical gear is back in stock. You can find it at tacticalrifleman.com. We've got Cat 7 tourniquets. You know you need to have one of them, but we also got our TR EDC med kits. These are vacuum sealed, packed by North American Rescue. They have got their 4-inch mini responder dressing, a 2-pack of hyphen vented chest seals, roll of 100 inches of 100-mile-an-hour tape, duct tape for sealing those wounds and stuff, set of large gloves, and then if you get the basic kit, it's got a roll of compressed gauze, literally a whole roll of gauze for packing wounds in that little pack right there, vacuum sealed. If you go with the advanced kit, it is filled with quick clot gauze. Same thing, it's gauze, it's just impregnated with the quick clot agent. Again, good stuff, vacuum sealed, approved by TSA to carry on planes, going to schools, kids' book bags, whatever. You can check them out at tacticalrifleman.com. Go to our store there. Hey guys, I want to let you know that our medical gear is back in stock. You can find it at tacticalrifleman.com. We've got Cat 7 tourniquets. You know you need to have one of them, but we also got our TR EDC med kits. These are vacuum sealed, packed by North American Rescue. They have got their 4-inch mini responder dressing, a 2-pack of hyphen vented chest seals, roll of 100 inches of 100-mile-an-hour tape, duct tape for sealing those wounds and stuff, set of large gloves, and then if you get the basic kit, it's got a roll of compressed gauze, literally a whole roll of gauze for packing wounds in that little pack right there, vacuum sealed. If you go with the advanced kit, it is filled with quick clot gauze. Same thing, it's gauze, it's just impregnated with the quick clot agent. Again, good stuff, vacuum sealed, approved by TSA to carry on planes, going to schools, kids' book bags, whatever. You can check them out at tacticalrifleman.com. Go to our store there.
right there.
Hey everybody, here's the time where I ask you if you guys can hear me okay. All right, to put it in the chat room, I want to welcome everybody to tonight's Tactical Tuesday live stream here at our sister channel TR Live. All right, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys tonight. I see I got a few of you monkeys already in the chat room. That's good. So here's the deal. You guys know the deal. All right, we got Bob T. Toombs here from Mountain Readiness. I actually was in his chat room last night. That's good to have him here. Here's what I want from you guys. Give me questions, all right? And that's right. Everybody can hear me okay. You guys have questions, too easy. Put them in the chat room. And my whole goal for tonight's live stream is for me. Right, Steve's not going to make it tonight. He's out visiting with a great friend of his, and he's down in Clarksville hanging out. That's awesome. So it's going to be just me tonight, but I'm here to answer your questions. I mean, I've got notes to talk about myself, but I enjoy getting the questions from you guys. So here's the deal. I got a brand new cup of 5 Stone Frontline coffee, 8 shots of espresso, a little bit of Italian sweet creams frothed up. All right, so maybe I put about 8 ounces of Bailey's Irish cream in it too. Shh, don't tell my wife. All right, but you see how big that coffee cup is? That's a big puppy right there. When the coffee cup is gone, we're going to end the live stream. So not quite as hot as it was before I filled it up with the Bailey's. But that's some good coffee right there, guys. Good coffee. All right. Here's the deal. You put your questions in the chat room, and my moderators send them to me right off the bat. I want to thank my moderators for all their hard work. I really do. Donut, he takes care of putting in links and things like that. Does a great job. I've got JT who is going to dig through all of your questions. I've got Manny who handles our technical issues and things like that. I've got a great group of moderators, and I got my son who sets this up for me, but he's upstairs. Today's his girlfriend's birthday. Oh, we got Karen here. Good to see Karen. Karen came and hung out with us at Mountain Readiness. Guys, if you didn't make it to Mountain Readiness, you kind of missed out a little bit. Mountain Readiness was badass. It really was. Really was badass, but you know, it was okay. You know, we had a great time hanging out, great classes, and I cannot say it enough. You guys are going to really enjoy Mountain Readiness 2026 next October. I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag yet, but I am gonna be having Bob T. Toombs, he's in the chat room, but I'm going to have him actually video in once it's official, because he's got a really big announcement once they finalize the contract and everything. But not trying to let the cat out of the bag, but you guys are going to want to put Mountain Readiness Expo on your calendar for next May. We had such a great time, and this thing is going to grow tenfold. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, good stuff indeed. You know, maybe we'll have, we'll see if I'm not getting any questions or nothing. Maybe I can have Bob T. Toombs call in tonight. I won't be able to do video with him, but maybe I can, if Bob is up for it, maybe we can have Bob call in, and we'll link the phone in so that you guys can hear him. And we'll make this thing, we'll make it work. All right, good stuff. We'll see if he can hang out, though. All right, I don't think I have any questions yet from you monkeys. All right, I've been told I'm not supposed to call you guys monkeys anymore. Apparently that is derogatory. This is the part where I remind you I don't give a shit, number one. Number two, I've worked with monkeys all across this planet, and some of y'all I'm not even gonna say it. Not gonna say it. I love my monkeys. I love my monkeys. I love my monkeys. So after Mountain Readiness, we taught 5 days of tactical rifleman classes at a range about an hour away from Mountain Readiness. Beautiful range, private owned training facility. It was really nice. And Fezzik, who you kidding? You know you're a monkey. All right. Anyways, but Bob T. Toombs, the guy who puts on Mountain Readiness, he actually let us stay at his house. He's got a beautiful homestead. Place is beautiful. He's got goats and chickens and everything. But the cool part was, right, we lined up our campers, right? I had my off-road camper. Toby had, well, then Emery had his little camper, and Toby had his off-road camper. Mickey had his camper. So the whole Tactical Rifleman Overland team was there. And we had such a great time. But Toom was a great host for us. And we had Randy there with us, right? Randy stayed inside the house at the guest bedroom. But we're doing stories around the campfire. I actually recorded one of them and put it up on Patreon for my patrons. You guys are missing out if you're not one of our patrons. We do a lot of good stuff there. But Toombs has got turkeys. I don't mean like wild turkeys. He's got like domesticated turkeys. How domesticated? I appreciate you asking. We're sitting there around the campfire. You know, we're in the little chairs around the campfire. And this turkey, who's in love with Bob, literally comes walking down, comes up and sits right next to my wife. And just looks up at her like, hello, I'm here. You better start petting me. So my wife is sitting there petting the head of this turkey. I've never seen no shit like that. So anyways, I'm trying to talk my wife into getting chickens for the hill, but now it looks like I might be able to get her to possibly, maybe we'll get turkeys first, but I got to get Bob. Bob's going to come down for the 4th of July, and I'll give him a tour of the hill, and maybe he can explain to me, the best place on the facility for me to put a turkey establishment. Turkeys. I think that would be cool. I really do. I think that would be cool. Who do I got here? I have people excited about the shooting courses. You need a minimum of 10. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I don't think Mickey realizes we're in the middle of a live stream right now. Funny stuff. Bob said the turkeys miss y'all. Bob, truly a good time. Bob, if you want, because I don't have any questions coming in right now, if you want to dial in, if you're not busy, you and the wife aren't busy, please give my phone a call, and we can, I'm sorry guys, it'll only be audio, because I don't have a picture up for him or nothing, but you guys can get a chance to talk to Bob T. Toombs, and maybe we can talk a little bit about Mountain Readiness. That is some good coffee right there, guys. 8 shots of espresso, and then the Italian sweet cream. You froth that up, and then I don't see my wife on the security cameras. That means she's in the house probably watching. But then maybe a couple ounces of Bailey's Irish cream added to it, just because you don't want it to get cold on you. You know, just put a little Bailey's in. Not gonna hurt nothing. All right, I see we got a question here from Jesse Spittler, 5 Bones. Hey Carl, glad I could meet you. Randy Emery at Mountain Readiness was a life-changing experience. Would highly recommend. That's cool, right? Guys, I cannot say that enough. It was awesome. Bob T. Toombs. Hey, Bob, you there?
I am. What's going on, brother?
I'm going to mic up the camera. All right. And this is the part where we're going to let Bob T. Toombs talk a little bit. You guys let me know if he's too loud or too soft, and I will adjust the volume for him, all right? So Bob, I miss you already, dude. We had such a great time. I appreciate you, your hospitality, letting us crash at your place, and including us in your mountain readiness event.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. It's an honor to have you guys. You guys are top notch, and we had a blast as well. I mean, down to hanging out with the turkey, and that turkey, I have full plans of hooking that turkey up with battle rattle for your next classes.
Yeah,
and
right.
just bring it along on the range.
You guys get that service turkey. Wraparound body armor with a little sign on the side that says "Service Turkey," and we get some maybe some.
That's it.
Yeah, a turkey cam. We can put a turkey cam on it. Yeah, can you
TR
guys hear?
Turkey are alive.
Exactly. Can you guys hear Toombs okay? Let me know if you guys can hear Toombs okay. All right. No, that's a good idea, dude. So that turkey, they don't fly. You said that one had something.
Well, it had a little bit of a wing issue. They do fly. They just don't fly unless they really want to. That is a Narragansett turkey. They're a heritage breed. They're super colorful plumage, at least the toms are, and great tasting birds. But that one there.
That's what I like to hear. Great tasting.
Yeah, great
My
tasting.
wife wants to pet it. I want to put it in the deep fat fryer. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, you gotta have enough of them
they need a man.
Replenish.
They need a man, is what it is, and that's why they kept coming around. And that one there, it just made itself at home. Like usually she'll come up and sit down on my lap and sit there and let me pet her, but next thing you know, I mean, she was just making the rounds, catching pets.
Now, she wasn't real big on me, but she loved Dana. She did. She loved my wife, Dana. So, and I like to be pet by my wife also. So I understand what the turkey was going through. I do. I understand. 100%.
Well, you know, of course, it was a female turkey. I mean, maybe that turkey swings that direction. I didn't know.
Who am I to judge? You know, who am I to judge? I know my wife don't do that shit, but my wife was stroking another man's bird.
You definitely need turkeys though in your life. I'm going to tell you, they are considered the best tasting birds. The turkeys, those turkeys there, best tasting of all the different turkeys. And you know, if you go to the store and you get your big store brand turkey butterball, those are meat turkeys. They're the ugly white ones. Yeah. You know, they're just raised for, they grow really fast and, you know, they taste okay. But those turkeys there, that's a whole nother level of exquisite dining.
So you say yours tastes better?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
100%.
Well, I look forward to chopping its head off. I do. But
maybe we can do it with a 50. I mean, that'd be a great.
That would be a good video. That would be a good video. Yep.
Have to edit that part out, but no, you guys did a great job. Of course, I only caught the last two days of classes out there on the range, and some of your classes there at Mountain Readiness. But man, you guys, I'm glad we put you guys in the big tent because you guys were overflowing with folks hanging out with y'all at those classes.
Yeah, guys, for those of our viewers that aren't familiar with Mountain Readiness, it is, Bob puts it on, he is the host. He does it at a big fairgrounds, big campground, and they, you know, it's a beautiful place. It's got a arena where Sularoo did his tracking classes, and he's got all kinds of little classrooms, big like circus tents set up all over the place. And he kind of puts us off to our side, which is cool because, you know, we're a bunch of nutbags. But we do have popular classes. But he had, what I love about it, Bob, and you've got such a great team of instructors that come in, is they're not just, they're not just gun guys or survival guys. He has homesteaders and people teaching, you know, hot water canning and how to slaughter chickens and how to tan hides and how to spot edible plants and
Yes.
forging. There's just so many different things going on, and they're all like 1 or 2 hour classes. And the schedule's easy to follow. You know, you just look at the list and whatever classroom it's at, what's going on. So if you want to do a class, cool. If you want to take a break, go back to your camper, your campsite, hotel, whatever, come back out. You know, and you can get up in the middle of classes. You come in, go. You don't have to show tickets because once you're on the property, you're good. And he's got all kinds of vendors there, not just food vendors. He had a stack of gut trucks, good food. But you got all these little vendors. And Angry American was there, autographing books and selling book sets. And Byron Russell from Black Armor Guns was there. And but us at Tactical Rifleman, we started off with, what was it? Combat Mindset by Emery. Emery did it this year. I did last year. Then I did Off-Road Recovery. You know, how to use that kinetic recovery strap, how to use a winch, how to use high lift jack, all that stuff. We had fun. We had fun with that. Afternoon, we did how to set up your AR.
Yep.
And then after that, we did austere vehicle repairs. How to patch a bullet hole in a radiator, how to plug a tire, how to plug a tire.
I really wanted to see that class.
Yeah.
That applies way beyond just the tactical side of things.
For sure.
I mean, that's just saving yourself, you know, self-rescue out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep, for sure. And we had some good coffee right there. We had a bunch of people show up for that. That class was packed. It really was. And then, guys, we brought Randy Rawhide Worst earlier this year so that he could teach some classes, which was funny because he was late for every one of his classes. He's sitting right there. He's sitting right outside the classroom, just jibber-jabbering, talking with people. And we're like, hey, Randy, you know, your class is waiting on you, and funny stuff. But Randy did fire building, and he did one class. I don't remember the name of it. It was like all the survival gear that you never bring, but that you really need.
Yeah, Randy's truck stuff.
Yeah, Randy's truck stuff. And he did rope work, all kinds of fun stuff. And it was a great time indeed. Was a great time. And yeah, so is the cat out of the bag yet? Have you got your contract signed yet?
It's still a couple weeks. We're,
okay. All right.
We're working through it. But
I'll have you back on.
I just got off the phone today too. There's another thing in the making, so it could be one or the other or a double down.
All right. Either way, I'm good.
Either way, it's a win.
Either way, I'm good with it.
We've got some huge things in the making, and of course we've got a great bunch of sponsors. Which you met, Matt Brushbeater. You guys, of course, we've got Recoil Off-Grid Magazine.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that magazine, the publication you said they were going to do. I'm really looking forward to that.
I actually will send you the link. They got it all put together. I'll send you the link. They did a great write-up in there about the event, and I actually got a call coming up with them here in the next week. They want to come on board and be a bigger part of that. So, you know, we're a little bit at a time. We're growing. And you know, where else can you get that tactical training and learn how to can and tan a hide and you know, spin wool and you know, it's all around. To me, it's like it's the best of all the worlds combined.
Yeah, and guys, if you're just joining us, I have Bob Toombs on the phone right now. Sorry, I don't have a picture up for him, but he is the brainchild behind Mountain Readiness Expo. We just came home from there. I got home Saturday night. It was last weekend, and it was awesome. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3-day event. And we're talking about how the next one's going to grow. Yeah, when you talk to Off Grid Magazine, throw my name out there. Tell them I'd love to do something with them also.
Oh yes,
yeah.
They were super impressed with y'all's classes. Of course, Emery had a huge turnout too with his knife fighting class.
Oh yeah. Beginner knife fighting. Which is always
Yes.
fun because, like last year, we did reverse grip knife fighting, and same
Yep.
thing, just starting with the basics. It is always awesome to watch a guy and his wife knife fighting with each other. Granted, they're training knives, but they're literally
Yeah.
going at it. And some of them get aggressive. I mean, we had a girl break her arm last year. It was
Actually,
she
I'm
got
sitting right
brittle
next to-
bones. It was an arm she had previously injured earlier, and unfortunately, in another one of my classes. Maria, if you're watching, we miss you and Fred very, very much.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting next to Amber in the car. We're driving into town, and I'm pretty sure she's thinking about knifing me right now. She's got that look. She's got that look in her eye.
Nothing
So
wrong with that.
Hey, you know, if the phone goes dead, you know what happened.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. All right, buddy. I'll let you be. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Give your blushing bride a hug for all of us here at Tactical Rifleman, and tell her thank you for her hospitality, opening up her home, her homestead, to all of us, especially when you got guys like Emery blowing up your plumbing every morning. You know,
Yeah, you know, that coffee's good, but it ain't good coming out the other side, it appears. So, no, I will pass that on, Carl, and thank you guys. You guys are awesome. You always do a slam up. Incredible job, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon.
Awesome. You take care, buddy.
All right, bye now.
Yeah, bye-bye. All right, guys, that was Bob T. Toombs from Mountain Readiness. And always great. I see I have a couple questions have come in from my moderators. Let me hit them. All right. What happened the last show? Did YouTube censor it? Yeah, apparently we didn't do last week, but they're talking about the one prior, guys. We made it. Me and Steve were actually wrapping up the live stream, right? We only had a couple minutes left, and out of the blue, YouTube killed it and completely deleted it. They said, you know, we had violated their guidelines. Now, we record it like I'm recording it right now. Serious, right? My little record light is on, and that's a little board I use for changing scenes and stuff, you know. So no, serious, it works, guys. Right, you guys, it's a push of a button. Anyways, we're recording, and my son was supposed to re-upload that live stream, but it won't be listed as a live stream. It'll be listed as a video. So I think he did it. I'll have to double check with him. If he hasn't, I'll have him put it back up. But you really didn't miss anything. It's just, you know, 2 hours of me sitting here doing verbal diarrhea like I'm doing with you right now. I do appreciate you guys, our loyal followers that hang out with us. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out. But understand, YouTube really cannot stand us. Let me know if those two go through. Nope. Apparently, JT sends me stuff and I don't get it because I've only gotten one. JT, I only got one from you, buddy. That's it. Did you get the last one? No. So I am missing one from JT. That's okay. That's all right, guys. You got to bear with my moderators. They're doing the best they can. No problem at all. Bob T. Toombs is actually coming down to my place. I think we're good now. Okay. All right. So he says we're good. Bob T. Toombs is coming down for the 4th of July. You guys know, Independence Day is a very important holiday for me. I'm very, very proud to be an American. And it's like, oh, okay, Carl, you served in the military. You're whoop-de-doo. And yeah, I understand. I grew up playing Army and everything. I saw the movie The Green Berets with John Wayne, the old original movie. That movie came out in like 1969. I was 2 years old. That's not when I saw it. I saw it when I was in junior high school. And it was a Saturday afternoon matinee on TV. Remember the old big wooden TVs, right? With the click, 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 click channel changer, right? And on top of it was this big monster thing that you could push a button, and this thing would pop up, boom, and it had like you know, something about this big VHS tape, right? And anyways, I recorded the movie The Green Berets, and we had one other movie on that tape. We only had one tape, and it was Mary Poppins. And I would come home, I'd have to babysit my sister till my mom got home from school. My dad was going to college. My mom was working as a substitute math teacher. And I would have to watch my sister when she came home, only for about an hour and 15 minutes. And then my mom would be home, and then I could go outside and play. So every day I would have to watch an hour and 15 minutes of Mary Poppins every day. You want to talk about, right? But anyways, I decided I was going to go be a Green Beret. And that sounds weird, but you know, a lot of kids, they get through high school, a lot of kids in college, they don't know what they want to do with their life. They just don't. So they just, you know, they study basket weaving or, you know, social sciences or gender studies and stuff like that. But they really don't know what they want to do with their life. Now, rewind, here's Carl in junior high school who's already already set a goal, and I kind of built my life, told that. Now, I was a total juvenile delinquent, but I set a goal, and I'm not as driven as my daughter is. My daughter is very, very driven when it comes to studying and stuff. But anyways, long story short, I went and became a Green Beret. Did 25 and a half years in the military, and been to 41 countries. 41 countries. I used to say 40. In 2015, I went to Ukraine. I just went on a cruise with my wife. I don't remember. I don't count the Caribbean as a country, right? But Ukraine in 2015, that was my 41st country, and I've had food poisoning in almost every one of them. I don't think I've had food poisoning in Canada, but I'm here to tell you guys, and the U.S. has problems. The United States of America, we have problems. Most of them are because of politicians. All right, that's just the truth. But in corporate America, things like that. But no matter how bad people want to bitch about America, I encourage you, like all these high schools, they have that senior class trip, you know, they go to a water park or amusement park or whatever. You need to take these high school classes, load them up on a bus, and take them to some little shit town in Mexico, like not a resort in Mexico. Take them to a little shit town and let them see where these people are making $2 a day, and let them see just how good they have it here in America. And you know what? People would be a lot more thankful. They really, really would. They really would be so much more thankful for what they have here. So anyways, I am a very proud American, and so my favorite holiday, biggest holiday, is Independence Day. My second biggest holiday is Thanksgiving, because I have a lot to be thankful for. I have lived a very blessed life. God loves Carl. I have a beautiful wife and great kids and a great family. When I say great family, I have a family. And what I mean by that is, like, Emery is like part brother, part nephew to me. Randy Wurst is part brother, part great uncle to me. Steve Holland is a great friend of mine. Wick, you know, I have SF buddies, and then I have my Patreon family. A lot of you patrons I've become good friends with, really good friends with. And so I have an extended family. And you know, and then everybody that lives on the hill here and their families, and I have concentric circles. I have friends at my local church, and a lot of these circles overlap, and that's the cool part. That, like this Sunday, for example, we're grilling. We're going to shoot at 2 p.m. and then we're grilling, and I have people coming that are patrons. I have people coming that have been on the live streams. I have people coming from my old unit. I've got people that have been on TR videos. I've got people. I've got Aunt Helen coming, and her husband David, and just concentric circles of family. So I have a great family. I'm very thankful for them. So Thanksgiving, very, very important to me. But Independence Day, I think all of us need to just account our blessings that we have been born into this great country. So we celebrate. We're not kayaking this year. We're going to kayak probably the day after or the day before, wherever. But we're not going to try to squeeze it all into one day. I just opened the swimming pool up, so it's looking a little green right now. It was like forest green. Now it's kind of like a guacamole green. By morning, I'm hoping we're to margarita green, and then by afternoon, it'll be starting to turn blue. But yeah, 4th of July, we're going to have a big shindig here, lots of food, fireworks, and Bob Toombs is going to come in for it. He's going to bring his wife. Maybe he can bring us a couple turkeys to hang out. We'll have us a good time. Yeah, without a doubt. All right, let's see if we got some more questions coming in. You caught it. It was a super chat. Cool. All right, another question. All right, it's not hard, guys, is it? You guys just send me the question. Are video games or VR type systems used in training modern day SF? Here's the deal. There's lots of simulators, but as far as video games, you understand a lot of the guys play the first person games in their off time. You know, especially when you're deployed overseas. It used to be we had a team box filled with a VHS player, and it was filled with movies, VHS movies, and then the internet happened. That's how old I am, guys. And then, guys, you know, we would watch movies on our laptops, and then it turned into, well, then you're video chatting your loved ones at home, where before that it was sending emails to them, where before that it was mailing letters. Yeah, I spent Desert Storm and my first decade in SF actually writing handwritten letters to my wife and mailing my wife pictures. And then it was emailing pictures and emailing letters and correspondence, and then, you know, video chatting, everything. But then it turned into playing video games while they're deployed. But it's just how you pass the time. That and you know, the number one product that comes out of the World Wide Web is porn. You know, so as far as, like it or not, you got all these single soldiers or soldiers deployed overseas. Yeah, if you were to pull up all the websites that they surfed while in their off time in a combat zone, I want to say like 70% of it is porn. It's seriously hard at that. There was a general one year, I want to say it was 1997, I think. 1997, I was on Camp Liberty in Baghdad, and right off the Baghdad International Airport, and a new general came in. I want to say it was 4th ID or something like that, and he passed like general order number whatever, no porn. And you understand they control the internet there, except they don't really, because they have a Iraqi internet service provider literally selling internet to people on base. Is that not crazy, right? So you want to talk about being able to hack into every soldier's laptop and everything. But yeah, he passed this thing. They tried to put up a firewall keeping Joe from surfing porn. And I told him, I was like, I didn't tell the general, I was telling the other staff guys there, I was like, yeah, good luck with that. Number one, you understand how many computer people work on this base. They're going to get by your firewall without a doubt. Not even hard. And yeah, there were so many fights that broke out and everything else that they finally, I think the general finally did away with it. You know, anyways, I don't know. Funny stuff indeed. I got another one just came in. All right, from Tracker. Have you used sound suppressors on Glock pistols? Where can we get the barrels? All right. My go bag has a dead air suppressor. It's actually a 45 caliber suppressor. I keep that in my go bag, and my EDC Glock has a threaded barrel. Where do you get threaded barrels for Glock? Excellent question. I don't even know if Glock makes them. I've never tried to buy one from Glock. I get mine from Lone Wolf. You go to lonewolf.com or whatever their website is. But there's a bunch of different companies that make threaded barrels for Glocks. Now, one thing I will say about Glocks, because it is a striker-fired pistol, and if you watch how that, I would grab the Glock off the wall and I'd show you, but I got a bunch of libtards at Google that have set up their AI to watch this, and if I even touch a gun on the live stream, they immediately cank it. So when I get tired of talking to you guys, I'll just start playing with the pistol and they'll kill it for us. All right. As that slide separates, it immediately unlocks the barrel and drops the barrel down. All right. It goes, as it goes back, it extracts the bullet, tosses it, and then drops that barrel so that next round can feed, comes back up. You don't really notice it when the gun's going off, but you would notice it if you had a suppressor attached to the barrel, because when you lock that slide to the rear, the suppressor's actually angled up about 5 to 10 degrees. And you notice it with a long suppressor. You don't notice it with just the barrel inside your slide. But that added movement and the added weight locking it in place, if you're going to run a suppressor on a Glock, you can't just thread it on like they do in the movies. All right. Certain suppressors you can, certain calibers, blah, 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 blah. What I found with my dead air one and most other company suppressors is they'll make a little, and I apologize, I don't remember the name of it, but it's basically a spring-loaded little mount you put on the end of the suppressor, and it allows that spring actually sets. It allows the barrel to actually move a little bit before the suppressor starts moving, and it will greatly increase the reliability of the suppressor on your pistol. So why do you need a suppressor on a pistol? Notice I mentioned it's in my go bag along with a PVS 14 with head harness and stuff. And the reality is, if you're using and I'm not big on the term go bag, I call it my red bag of woe. It's actually rust colored, rust and gray colored. If you haven't seen my bag, you can go dig through our video archive, and I've got like a 2-hour video about that bag and the stuff I keep in it. Literally, I get down to a gnat's ass detail on it. 4 magazines in there, loaded with ball ammo, and a suppressor. And the whole reason for having a suppressor, and you understand, a bag of woe that you move from vehicle to vehicle, that just has all the stuff that you need all the time. You know, emergency equipment, first aid kit, this, blah, 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 this and that and whatever. And what I do is I move my toolbox and my bag of woe from vehicle to vehicle. A lot of times I move my rifle, depends where we're going. But at a minimum, I would move my toolbox and my red bag of woe. If I'm going to ride in my wife's SUV or my Jeep, whatever, those 2 things get moved from vehicle to vehicle. And having night vision and a suppressed pistol gives you a lot of extra options when it comes to moving with stealth. All right, it really does. So anyways, yeah, right, he's talking about the Nelson device. Yeah, Nelson Booster. Yeah, a bunch of you guys in the chat room pulled the name up for me. I appreciate it. I really do. You guys are awesome. You guys, I know you guys are going to think this is funny. I'm not a gun guy. I'm really not. I'm not really a gun guy. I'm more of I'm a Green Beret, jack of all trades. I saw Alpha Omega just ask, why ball ammo? Here's why. A couple reasons. One, ball ammo always feeds. One. Two, ball ammo is very barrier blind. You're going to get penetration. All right. But three, the most important one is because I'm lazy. What do I mean by that? To me, it is more important for you to rotate those mags than it is for you to put expensive ammo in there that you don't ever train with. So what I have found is I shoot a lot of ball ammo. Now my EDC pistols, I run what's called G9 external hollow points. All right, so that's what would be in my pistol. Right, I'm already going to have 3 magazines of that with me. All right, G9 external hollow points. You can get the law enforcement version that will actually go through level 3 alpha body armor. If you don't believe me, I actually have videos of it, me shooting level 3 body armor and killing, where it would stop the 44 Magnum. It even stopped the 50 Magnum. The 9mm external hollow point goes right through that stuff. It really does. And sometimes you need that, right? But I run ball ammo because I swap my magazines out. I do. I swap my magazines out in that bag just every so often. I'm at the range shooting in the backyard with just crap ammo. And, because I'll be loading out of the back of the Jeep, right? Got my can of ammo there and everything. And there's the bag. And it dawns on me, I haven't swapped prescription meds out in there. I haven't swapped batteries out in my bag yet. I haven't swapped mags out. And real quick, grab that stack of 4 magazines and sit them down. They're already loaded. Put 4 more mags back in there. I guess I could swap out good expensive ammo. I could, but I just ball ammo is good enough for me. So I guess you could say I'm lazy, but that's just me. I can live with that. I have been accused of much worse. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say that I run crazy, sexy $4 bullets that have depleted uranium in them and 0.2 ounces of cyanide and I don't. I run ball ammo in my go bag. My go bags, spare mags for the pistol have got... Now, what about my truck gun? My truck gun, right, my carbine has got to be... You want ammo that is barrier blind. All right, my home defense gun, I actually run frange at home for home defense. Why frange? Well, frange will go through 7 layers of drywall. All right, so if a guy's right around the corner, I know I can still get to him. But frange will not go through both sides of the refrigerator. Frange will not go through certain other things. Frange does not go through mammals and monkeys that much. It usually just goes in and opens up like a softball. All right. Now understand that's all non-viable tissue that the surgeon now has to cut out. So you give a guy a quick zipper drill, 4 rounds. Imagine the best surgeon, the best thoracic surgeon and abdominal surgeon right there. They've got to cut out 4 softball size chunks of non-viable tissue from the chest cavity, and the reality is they're not going to have much to work with. Now, outside the house, you want ammo that's barrier blind. So I do not run frangible ammo outside the house unless we're using it for training. I run barrier blind ammo. What's good barrier blind ammo? And you can say the Mark, 318. There's all kinds of barrier blind ammo out there. But honestly, guys, the easiest one for you guys to get your hands on that is good ammo is green tip. And I know a lot of people bitch about green tip. They don't like green tip. They don't like green tip. green tip came around in the late 80s, and a lot of people don't even realize it. They think green tip was made to be armor piercing. It's actually not. If you were to take your Leatherman and you cut just the green painted part off the bullet, what will come out is a hard piece of steel. Hard meaning harder than lead. If you pull the full projectile out, it's I apologize, I don't have one right here, guys. Where, or do I? I actually do over there. I'm looking to see if I've got a green tip on my desk. I've got a box of ammo over there. Anyways, it's a longer projectile than 55 grain. 55 grain ammo is 55 grain ammo is what was used Vietnam, basically all through the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And when they tried to get rid of the automatic rifleman. Now, the original automatic rifleman in the infantry had an M16 with a bipod on it, and he carried nothing but 30-round magazines, and he would shoot on full auto to lay down suppressive fire. Well, they wanted a weapon that wouldn't jam as much, that wouldn't heat up as much. They wanted something belt-fed, and they were looking at the Minimi, which you guys know today, the Belgian Minimi, you know it as the M240 machine gun. Okay, but they wanted it in 5.56. That was the new caliber. And what they found was it wouldn't run reliably on 55 grain. But that's what our M16s, the entire military was shooting, was 55 grain, 5.56. So they needed the best of both worlds. So what they ended up doing was they made a longer bullet, long enough to make the saw run, the M249 saw. The problem though was the bullet weighed way too much. We need to lighten it down. So they pulled the lead out of the tip of it, and they put a lighter metal in there. They went with a little steel. It's like an upside down ice cream cone, basically. Solid little thing, flat at both ends. It's not hollow, it's solid, and but it's flat tip, flat bottom, and it's great at penetrating like thin-skinned barriers, drywall, 2x4s, car doors, windshields, things like that. It's not designed to penetrate armor, though it will go through the NEMA plates. It will go through 3 Alpha soft armor. It zips right through a lot of ammo. But the funny part was it was originally designed to lighten that round, make the round longer, and then they changed the M16 to meet and be optimized for green tip. Green tip's been around forever. It has served us very, very well. What we found in the global war on terror, though, was fighting Afghanis, and you understand Afghanis are malnourished cavemen. Literally, they're malnourished cavemen. Some of these people are so malnourished, you could take their forearms and literally snap their forearms. Now, I didn't actually do that to anybody. But they're very, very weak bones is what I'm saying. But we had a lot of problems with the green tip just ice picking straight through people, where the 55 grain M193 would yaw and then disintegrate. Basically, it had a very thin jacket on it, and it would just come apart. You still get secondary cavitation, but if a guy is too thin, you're not getting that secondary cavitation. Depends what it hits, everything, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward, and about halfway through the global war on terror, Big Army was talking about this new ammo, the M855A1. And the first article I saw about it was this was environmentally friendly ammo. And I lost my mind. I'm like, environmentally friendly ammo? They're like, yeah, because you can shoot it into the berms and it's not putting any lead in the environment. And I got pissed off about that. And I was like, because it's a lot more expensive than green tip. Still 62 grain, but it's a lot more expensive. And I got pissed off about it. Here's the deal, though, is You understand? They only tell the public what they want the public to hear. And at the time, right, everybody was save the planet, save the environment. There were actually people trying to get rid of the halon fire extinguisher system inside an M1 Abrams tank, because when you fire halon, it's bad for the ozone layer. You understand, if an M1 Abrams tank catches on fire, that halon that fires to save the crew immediately puts a fire on it so that they can escape. You understand that tank and all those rounds cooking off damages that ozone layer like 100,000 times what that little bit of halon would do to it. But libtard, tree hugging, save the planet nutbags like AOC, all they understand is what's written on the dry eraser board in class by their instructors. So they bitch about halon systems, whatever. So that's what they were told, that M855A1 is better for the environment. Guys, M855A1 is hot. People will say it's bad for your gun. You're only going to get 12 to 15,000 rounds out of your barrel instead of 30,000 rounds. Okay, who gives a shit, right? It's special forces. We got new M4 uppers because our barrels were shot out every year. Every year we got brand new uppers. So I don't care, number one. Number two, how many of you civilians shoot 12,000 rounds through your AR? I mean, it's an excuse for you to buy a new upper. Who cares, right? Who cares? Not, but here's the truth behind it, right? So I have M855A1. I have bandoliers of it for the truck guns and stuff. Confirm zero with the guns every once in a while, but you understand I'm not shooting it every day. I do most of my training with whatever crap ammo happens to be at the range. Now when I do carbine zero mastery classes, like we just did one last Thursday. Toombs was in it, by the way. I actually used a different type of ammo. I re-zeroed another gun with my micro prism with a magnifier, just shooting grind hard 55 grain, where before it had been zeroed for 62 grain. Okay. Had very little shift at all. Instead of my 200 meter zero being at 47 meters, it was at 41 meters. So what, right? Very, but the big thing was I got it zeroed at 200. Cool. All right. I saw somebody asking about tracers. Guys, I don't use tracers for anything. Me personally. Now, are there options? I get more people. I'm trying to get back to JT here. Are there uses for tracers? Yes. Old infantry tactics as far as shooting aerial gunnery, for shooting at airplanes and helicopters. The way a squad, and this was 1970s, 1980s, 1990s tactics, the squad leader would have a magazine of tracer, and you put your whole squad online, all right? And you don't run away when the plane comes at you. You actually lay sideways, all right? And because the odds of bullets hitting right where you're at, all right? But if everybody's spread up or standing up, now the bullets are, you're more than likely to get hit, all right? But you lay sideways, and the squad leader would fire on full auto. He would try to lead the aircraft or helicopter, whatever he thought was the correct amount, and he would fire tracers. Now, the rest of the squad is not supposed to look at the helicopter or the aircraft. They are supposed to shoot at his tracers. And what that makes is a cone that's crossing, right? You got 8 guys laying on the side, and basically now you get a cone that plane now has to fly through. It sounds very, very smart in training, but the reality is I've never actually seen it work. We actually did it once at a aerial gunnery range in Korea when I was a private, and we didn't hit nothing. They had these little remote control drones made out of styrofoam, and it flew around and around, and nobody hit it. Maybe we were hitting it, but we weren't shooting it down. And back then they had the Vulcans, and on the little trailer, and that was my first time ever seeing a 20 millimeter Vulcan shoot. And he laid into that thing with like a 400, 500, 600 round burst, and he ate that son of a gun alive. He did. And coolest part is watching them. You put that little trailer mounted Vulcan in the defense, and you have him use it against infantry in the open. That's what everybody needs for home defense. You think a minigun is fun? Bump that puppy up to 20 millimeter. You'd really love it. And they did away with all those things. And now at base camps, they actually, right? Because they went to Stingers and all these 50 cals on Humvees and everything. But the Vulcan was so awesome. Every base camp over in Iraq, we had Phalanx. That's the 20 millimeter with the big gray soup can on the top of it. You see them on Navy ships. Well, they have them mounted on trailers. And they would park these things all over, like Radio Hill in Baghdad had 4 of them. And those things are badass. Bad guys would shoot a mortar round at us. And I'd be out running PT, and this thing would just start like, it'd start, and I'm like, dude, it's wanting to track you. Because you're running, but you're moving molecules of air by it. You know, this radar is just constantly pounding. But when it opens up on a mortar round coming in, it's badass. Now, it fires, you get the, and then you hear all the little explosions, because only one of them actually hits the mortar round. You get that little explosion. But all the rest of those rounds, instead of raining down into Baghdad where they could do some good, they all have time delays, and then they blow up in the air so that they don't hurt anybody on the ground. All right, okay, fine. I guess that's the right thing to do. But you understand, I'm kind of right there with Emery when it comes to the Middle East, guys. I'm not going to tell you what I would do if I was king. I'm not going to tell you what. I would. I would immediately reduce our nuclear stockpile by 50%. I'm not exaggerating, guys. All right, I saw JT hasn't sent me a couple super chat. JT, I haven't got them, so I'm going to scroll back. Oh, we got here. JD Watson threw down 50 bones. Just wanted to let you know I had a great time during the precision rifle class. Hope you do it again next year. JD, I am going to put precision rifle on the calendar for next year. Guys, we did it at Cedar Creek Precision right here in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. I am going to put it on the calendar for next year. Hopefully we have the moving target working better. Hopefully a couple moving targets working by then. I appreciate you showing your support. I appreciate you showing up at that class. Great time. All right, I had another one come in from the Gustash, 2531, threw down 5 bones, sir, comma. What zero would you use with a 9mm carbine? I live in an urban environment and likely doubt shots over 150 yards. Highly doubt shots over. You see how he mentioned what his maximum effective range would be? That's what he mentioned, right? 150 yards is a long ways for a 9mm, even in a pistol caliber carbine with a longer barrel. But like people ask me, Carl, what distance do you zero your pistol optics at? I get this question a lot. And what I tell you is I want you to zero your pistols at basically the max range that you see yourself using it. Now, when it comes to carbines, understand the max range effectiveness for a 5.56 carbine. So long as you got a decent length barrel, you're not some ass clown running a 9-inch barrel. But so long as you've got 10.5-inch barrel, preferably a little bit longer. I run a 13.7 on most of my rifles. All right. You can easily get 300 for a 10.5-inch barrel. You'll get 300 meters easy. Now, but for that, we do what's called a point blank zero, 200 meters. Now, Gustash, you would have to look up what your zero is for a head size target, but I believe you might even be able to get 150 yards. What I mean by that is put it in a ballistic calculator and calculate, right, how high does a bullet have to rise not more than 5 inches or drop more than 5 inches, and then at what range can that be on a 10-inch head plate, right? Because I want you to be able to shoot 10-inch size targets. Anybody said, well, why 10 inches, Carl? Statistically speaking, global war on terror, you mentioned being in an urban environment, is you're not seeing the whole body on a guy. What you're seeing is a lot of times just the head size target. So I'm big on a head size target. Now, 10-inch size target for 5.56 and 308, that point blank zero is 200 meters. Zero at 200 meters and out to about 220, 230. It's not going to rise more than 5 inches or drop more than 5 inches. So we zero right at 200 meters, right? If that makes any sense for you. I would have to see, you know, height over bore of your optic, what kind of ammo you're running, what muzzle velocity you're getting, and then we could calculate a point blank zero for you. But honestly, zero it at 100 meters to start off with until you can get your hands on that ballistic data. All right, I see I had another super chat come in. Let me scroll down. This is from Annalise and Kyle Beeler. What kind of fruit-bearing trees would you recommend someone who's never grown one to start with? All right. Again, it comes down to where do you live. Two things work there, for or against you. One is your climate. All right, and you can look on the map. They'll say climate regions for growing fruit trees. But the second one is your soil. For example, Western Kentucky, and Annalise and Kyle live in Central Kentucky. Western Kentucky, I have great soil for growing peaches. All right, great soil for growing peaches. However, sometimes I get, because I have probably 25, 30 peach trees, sometimes I get 10,000 peaches, not exaggerating. The tree looks like it died overnight because the whole tree that was green the day prior, it looks like it's brown. And you go, oh my God, my tree died. You drive up there, those aren't leaves. That's how many peaches are on this tree. And you're like, holy smokes, this is awesome. We run the Harvest Right freeze dryer nonstop for a while. But most years, I don't get but a few dozen, maybe a couple hundred peaches. Why? I appreciate you asking. Well, what happens is they bloom, the peach trees bloom early before the apples do, and we get that last late frost. And that last late frost kills all the blooms, and no blooms, no peaches. This year we had a late frost. Now, I wasn't expecting to get any peaches, but I went up through the fruit tree orchard and backyard checking on my honeybees, and I went by some of the larger peach trees. Most of the peach trees are completely empty. There's not a single peach on them. But some of the older peach trees, the leaves on the outside of the tree kept the frost off of some of the blooms that were deeper inside the tree. So I'll probably get a couple hundred peaches this year, not enough to really mess with. So I'm not recommending you start with peaches in Kentucky. Go with apples, any kind of apple, whatever kind of apple you like. I had Golden Delicious and Red Delicious apples and Macintosh and all these different kinds of apple trees. And I want to say we've got like 190, 180 fruit trees left in my fruit tree orchard. We're getting ready to plant some more. How do you get that many fruit trees? How do you get 190 fruit trees, guys? This is trivia for you. How do you get that many fruit trees? How do you get 190 fruit trees? You start with 250. All right. If you want fruit the best way to do it is buy it in the grocery store because fruit trees die very, very easily. But if you're willing to give them love and you just plant one right outside your house, and this is for everybody. I wish I had done it. I got a tree on the side of the house we're getting ready to replace. I'm going to replace it with an apple tree right in the front yard. I have a bunch of maple trees in the front yard. I have oak trees. We've got walnut trees, and some of the firewood we burn would break people's hearts when they hear that I cut up a walnut tree to use as firewood, but it fell in a storm, and we let it lay so it would dry. And it's all cracked and everything. Yeah, commercial orchard. No, I do not have a commercial orchard. We sit on. I'm not going to say how much property we have. We have. I probably got a 5-acre fruit tree orchard. It's a good sized fruit tree orchard, and like I said, I have a lot of smaller fruit trees that have died because I have all these deer that come in, and the big deer comes in, the big buck, and he scrapes on the big fat trees. He rubs one side, and what they're doing is they're basically hanging up a sign saying, "Hey, I'm in the area," and that is for does, chicks, to see, and then they go over there and they leave them a message. All right, hey, I'm here, I'm interested, and so he comes back and he checks these things every so often. Okay, there's a little more to it than that, but honestly, not a lot. Well, you got the young bucks, the young button bucks, and 2-pointers and 4-pointers. They want to be like the cool guy, so they go up in the fruit tree orchard and they run my skinny little fruit trees. And if you rub the bark all the way around a tree, it kills the tree. It can't heal. If you only rub on one side, it'll actually scar and it will grow shut. But once it has gone all the way around, you're kind of screwed. All right. Ooh, my Quigley's given recipes up there. I appreciate that. I love some. Mike's he's involved with a fancy restaurant down in Nashville. I really need to take the wife down there. I really do. Wow, I missed a bunch of questions. All right. Start with apples, and I recommend everybody, and it doesn't matter how small your place is, if you've got a spot for a ornamental bush in your front yard, let it die, and then tell the wife you're going to plant a small tree there. And I have pear trees. The problem with, I don't get a lot of good, no, my Asian pears are awesome. They melt in your mouth. They really do. A lot of my other pears, because they're pollinated with all the apples, they kind of get an apple consistency to them. A lot of my apples, like all my Golden Delicious, are not Golden Delicious anymore. All my Red Delicious are not Red Delicious anymore. They're kind of delicious. They still taste the same. They still taste like apples. They're still great. They're awesome. But the bees have cross-pollinated all of them. It's kind of funny. It's funny to watch. It really is. But yeah, I encourage everybody to get out there and plant some stuff. All right, so let's see what I've missed here, guys. I apologize. All right, I got that one. I got that one. I got that one. Annalise Kyle Beeler. All right, Toby BMP, question for Carl. With 55 grain 5.56, is it worth upgrading to a 20-inch barrel for the terminal ballistics, or would you use a 1 in 12 or 1 in 14 or some other twist rate? Honestly, you don't need it with 55 grain. The big thing is length of barrel. You just need to get, you want to get it going close to 3,000 feet per second, and just chronograph your gun. And if you're already getting that, go with the barrel length that you have. All right. Getting the twist rate is better for external ballistics, more accurate. All right, at distance, but because you can get it spinning faster. But and there is something to the spin rate will, yeah, because they do that with like the 8.6 blackout. I got that. They got the thing spinning like a 1 and 2 twist. Every 2 inches it spins. You understand how tight those lands and grooves are. Wow, that's crazy, right? But honest with 5.56, don't even go that deep. Just 5.56 will not let you down. You just got to zipper the guy enough times. All right, seriously, don't get hung up on twist rates. Understand the longer the barrel you go with, the more accurate it's going to be at distance because you're getting a little higher muzzle velocity. You have to balance that against what size package you have for fighting with. All right, there's where everybody was running 14 or 16-inch barrels. The varsity team, Delta SEAL Team 6, they wanted to go to short barrels. Why? Because they wanted the same length package, but they wanted to add a suppressor. So they went with a shorter barrel. You go with a shorter barrel, you're not getting accuracy at distance, but they were willing to sacrifice that because they were going to be doing plenty of tissue damage inside the house. And the reality is their mission is close quarters battle. SEAL Team 6 gets hostage rescue if the ship's underway. Delta gets aircraft, commercial airliners, things like that. All right, that's basically how the charter is written up. All right, but CQB distances. So they ended up having to go with a piston for one, reliability reasons, but two, that added back pressure. Right, if you've ever on a gas impingement gun, you pull that magazine out of the gun. You've been running the suppressor, right? And you look, and all your ammo in your magazine is dirty. There's carbon all over it. Understand that carbon isn't taking a separate route. It's coming the same route back that the carbon was coming before. That's your gas tube. But there's just a lot more of it now. And it's not just carbon coming back, it's pressure coming back. So if your bullets are getting dirty running a suppressor, it's because you've got too much pressure building up. So if you're going to run a suppressor on a gas impingement gun, make sure you've got a adjustable gas block, number one. Number two, if you're going to run a suppressor more than 10% of the time, in other words, if you're going to run it most of the time, you need to switch to a piston. My TR1 rifle that you guys see me running in classes and videos, the new one, those are made by Adams Arms. Adams Arms went out of business, but they are both piston guns. The original TR1 was a gas impingement, but I couldn't run a suppressor on it. The gun just gets so dirty so fast, really does. All right, Carl, are your peach trees small enough to bag to protect from late frost? No, they are not. What he's talking about, guys, is actually running cloth. Some people use bed sheets, stuff like that. I have some peach trees that are that small, but most of my peach trees are significantly larger than that. There are people that will actually wrap their tree. If you only have 1 or 2 peach trees, you can actually wrap them in bird netting to keep the birds from eating all of your fruit. You can do that. There are people that go out and actually spray before the frost comes in. They'll actually spray the trees down with water, so then it's ice coat. I don't know. I don't get that deep into it. I just don't. I just don't. I mentioned I have over 100 fruit trees, right? So let them, there's plenty of fruit for the deer. There's plenty of fruit for me to share with whoever. And if I get peaches, it's a bonus, right? It's like, wow, I got peaches. And if sometimes we'll have trees loaded with peaches, and then there's like a fungus that comes in, and you got to spray them for the fungus, like right when they bloom, and then right when the peaches. Anyways, it's a pain in the neck, and if I'm around to take care of my crops, cool. But where have I been this time of year? By the way, this is the time of year when all this maintenance is supposed to be doing. This is when all my questions are, right? This is when all my classes are. So Yeah, I haven't done a lot of maintenance on my trees. I haven't even talked to my bees yet. I've been home since Saturday. I got home late Saturday night. Sunday was Mother's Day. Yesterday was put the gates on the fence. My wife helped me all day long. Bless her heart. I could not have done it behind her. But I had to hang 4 gates. And, right, you want the stuff to look pretty. They got to have locks on them. Everything. Hinges. Spring-loaded hinges at that, so the gates close. Anyway, so my wife helped me put gates on the fence yesterday. I was supposed to go up visit my bees yesterday. That didn't get done. Camper had to get taken care of. Camper got done on Mother's Day. I did not shoot Mother's Day. Did Mother's Day church and then hung out with the wife for a while. Did the camper, honey-do list around the house. Gates yesterday. Today was work on the cement pond in the backyard. That's pretty good right there. Pretty good coffee, guys. All right, I spy another super chat. Just came in from Peter from Hong Kong. He threw down 10 Hong Kong shekels, or whatever they call their money in Hong Kong. What are your thoughts on 50 BMG resistant sappy plates? I actually have a plate that was made especially for me to stop a 50 cal. I have it up in the attic. I don't know if you guys go back and go back through the Tactical Rifleman video archive and Google Dayton Body Armor. I did a video for them, and they make great plates, guys. They're so lightweight. They are awesome. And they'll stop everything. They really will, except the 50. But then they made me, they actually made me a plate for my 50. They're like, we made you it's called the Carl 50 plate. And it's light. It's not really heavy, but that puppy's like 2 inches thick. I put it on the gel torso. And anyways, go watch the video. It stopped it. Damned if it didn't stop it. It stopped the 50. I didn't shoot it with the API. That would have been sexy. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't think I did. I think I just shot it with regular 50. I'm not sure I'd want to wear it. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't want to wear it and get hit by a 50. That said, if you're going to get shot by a 50, I think I'd rather have that plate on, and have it, break my sternum and most of my ribs and possibly pop one of the valve, one of the chambers of your heart. That would be better than, somebody running a 50 cal projectile through. You understand? That's kind of like pushing a pool stick through the center of your chest. The whole pool stick. Push it all the way through your chest and pull it out the other side. Right? You understand? That would suck. That would suck pretty bad. So, I've never seen anybody make plates that will take a 50. 5 Stone Frontline Coffee. I actually ran out, guys, and I mentioned it to you guys at the last live stream how I was out, and I had to actually use 8 o'clock coffee. Believe it or not, I got little stuff, but everybody sends me ground coffee. I got tons of Black Rifle coffee ground, but I have my espresso machine. I like freshly roasted beans. So I went to, I'm out of beans. I thought I had some. I thought I had an extra bag. I didn't. My fault for not keeping up on my supplies. My own fault. I got nobody to blame. My panic buying, ran down to the grocery store and got down there, and it's a little grocery store. I live in a little town. I go in there and they only got one brand of beans. And ain't nobody in town grinding. So that 8 o'clock whole bean would have been there probably 2-3 years on the shelf. I didn't even want to look at the date. I just know, it's not ground. This is bean. So I brought it home, and it was okay. It was okay. It was okay coffee. I'm agreeing with Donut. It was okay, but it was nowhere near as good as my 5 Stone Frontline coffee. So anyways, I was hoping some of you guys would feel sorry for me and would reach out to Eric at 5 Stone Frontline Coffee and say, you know, hey, Eric, you got to send Carl some coffee. And you guys didn't do it. So anyways, I'm packing up, getting ready to go to Mountain Readiness, and I got Emery there. Not Emery, I had, because Emery left from Louisville. I had Randy Worst there, and I got my espresso machine there that morning. We're literally getting ready to get in the vehicles and head to Mountain Readiness. And Randy loves my coffee. And I'm like, Randy, look, it's not 5 Stone beans. It's 8 o'clock. He's like, Carl, whatever you make, sir, it's going to be awesome. It's funny he calls me sir. So I got a 72-year-old war hero in 5 history books calling me sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're the boss man. I'm like, Randy, whatever. So I took a picture of the bag 8 o'clock, and I text it to Eric. And I'm like, Eric, man, I'm out. And this is what I've been reduced to right here. And Eric just lost his mind. He's like, how could you let it get that far? I got an emergency resupply coming in the mail right now. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm leaving for 10 days. So anyways, I got back, and I have all these packages that arrive while I'm gone, right? Jeep parts and gun parts and this part and a birthday gift for baby Ada and all these different things, all these packages. Box, 5 Stone right there. Yeah. So anyways, I got a 5-pound bag. So Eric, if you're watching, Eric at 5 Stone Frontline Coffee, thank you so much for sending me a 5-pound bag. And me and Randy were halfway through it already. It's pretty cool. But yeah, guys, I gotta do better on my coffee resupplies. I really do. All right. I just did that one. All right, we are caught up on questions. So until I get another question, all right, I'm going to. You realize I got 95 of you guys hanging out today. That's kind of cool, right? Isn't that kind of cool? I don't have that many likes, but I understand we're not as good as we used to be. All right. But real quick though, I want to, while I've got a lull here, I want to give you guys a shout out to a couple classes. My next class is coming up. Guys, is Home Defense Pistol. Home Defense Pistol 1 and 2 is at the Louisville Armory. That is going to be late June. So it's too hot to be outside. Now here's the cool part about Home Defense Pistol is, right, Home Defense Pistol, you literally can bring your spouse to it. Well, my spouse isn't a gun person. Okay, but while you're gone to one of my classes, she's at home, and if the home alarm goes off, the dogs are losing their mind, whatever, some meth head's kicking in the front door, she's going to grab the pistol out of the nightstand, and you're going to expect her to fall back on the level of training that she has. So my reason for saying this is the perfect class for you to bring your spouse to. All right. Last time we taught this class, it was January. Same place, Louisville Armory. And the cool part is we've got an indoor range right next to the classroom. It's heated in the wintertime. It's air conditioned in the summertime. We got a small little shoot house, but we've got all the barricades and everything. We can move 25 meters in depth. We have a great time. But I geared the class. There's no drawing. Because think about it. It's not like you're going to stand at the other end of the hallway going, go ahead, make my day. No, you're already going to have the gun out. You're going to be at the end of the hallway by the master bedroom door. And you're going to be like, hey, dude, I hear you in the living room. Put the TV down. I already called the cops. Get out of here. I got a gun. If you try to come down the hallway, I'm going to mix metal and meat together. All right? That's the distances, and it's a good course. We put a lot of work into it. One of the drills we do, no live ammo. You're actually in the classroom, and everybody's in the back of the room. Magazines filled with dummy rounds, and up on the big screen TV, it's like you're looking down the hallway, and then we present targets, and they're all photos. And some of them, it's the guy coming through the window with a pistol, guy coming through the window with a pry bar, the guy just kicked the door open, he's got a pistol, and you've got to shoot, right? And then the next one is the guy in your doorway holding a cell phone, you know, and that we get into talking about castle doctrine, and because you understand castle doctrine is different in different states. Some states you can shoot somebody inside your house, other states you can't, and but the goal of that is not to say you were right to shoot or not right to shoot. It is to start the conversation, and more importantly, get you thinking about those situations before it actually happens. And then from there, we go straight back into live firing and the shootout. So anyways, that course is late June. I want to say it's like half full right now. So I have plenty of slots for it. Kyle Beeler took it in January. Maybe Kyle can chime in the chat room and let you guys know how awesome of a class that was. Or maybe he didn't like, I know he likes it. He sent me comments back on the course. All right, that's in June. Let's roll forward into July. July 26, 27. The only reason why I remember those dates is my birthday is the 25th of July. 26, 27 is another weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We have our 2-day low light, no light shooting class. Now, I got the price list from AGM Global Vision, and they are wanting to know if my class wants Gen 3 PVS 14s or Gen 2 Plus green. The green are a little cheaper, but they don't have the Gen 2 Plus Ghost White Phosphor. They only have those available right now in Gen 3s. Gen 3s, you're looking at about $600 more. Now, here's the deal. You don't have to buy nods. You don't have to buy nods. I will have brand new PVS 14, still in the green bag, still sealed in the box for every student. Now, at the end of the course, if you want to buy them, you can buy them. If you don't want to buy them, you just say, Carl, great class, or whatever. But I don't want the nods. Cool. I box them back up. I send them back to AGM Global Vision. They're out of Arizona. And I'm like, man, how can you do this? You know, because now they're used. And they're like, well, they're not very used. You know, you're only using them for a day and a half, right? Because the first half day is white light on pistol and rifle. So you're using them for a day and a half. But they said, Carl, you're one of the only people out there that are teaching people how to use night vision. And I said, well, what do you mean? There's a lot of other instructors that do night vision classes. They're like, yeah, but all they do is just have people shoot. You're actually teaching them about night vision and how to use night vision and everything. And I thought about that, and I was like, yeah, you're right. That's how I built the class. Was there's so much to using nods besides just shooting with them. And so anyways, yeah, so those are the two classes I've got coming up. Home defense pistol, June. July is low light, no light shooting, and that's only a 9-man class. That's a very, very small class because I want you guys to get a lot of hands-on time, but also in the dark. I can't do a big class because you understand the instructors are under nods also. So I have to keep you guys safe. So that is only a 9-person class. So I still have slots left for that class. And if you have already signed up for it, send me an email. What do you think? You know, would you rather have Gen 3 Ghost White Phosphor, or would you rather have Gen 2 Plus green ones? I actually prefer green, but I know the latest hotness, everybody likes Ghost White Phosphor. All right. I have one other class that is in August that I haven't really mentioned to you guys. We just added it to the calendar, and it is Practical Medical Solutions. Now, a few years ago, we used to run TCCC, tactical combat casualty care, but modified for civilians. So when I say modified, I don't mean like watered down for civilians. What I mean by it is, in the military, every soldier has a IFAK, an individual first aid kit, right? That is on their body armor everywhere they go. So they're always going to have this medical gear with them. Well, civilians, how much medical gear you have on you right now while you're sitting here watching this video? Right? The reality is you don't have, well, I do out in my truck. I'm not talking about what's out in your truck. I'm not talking about what's up in the attic. I'm talking about what's on you right now, right? So we geared the class to more towards that you know what right looks like, and then when you don't have right, you know how to do it expediently, how to make tourniquets, how to make chest seals, blah, 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 stuff like that. It's a good one-day class. Travis Hall was the lead instructor, primary instructor of that, but he went, he's getting ready to retire. You guys know him from Second Chance K9, but he was 5th Special Forces Group, and then he went to 20th Group, National Guard Special Forces, was active there, actually made Sergeant Major, I believe, at their training schoolhouse, and he's working very, very hard to make the world a better place. Once he retires, we'll get back into doing classes with Travis. But I have another 18 Delta named Nick Gaines, and he taught classes, medical classes, at our last Patreon course in Texas, and ran a great medical class. So I asked him, I'm like, hey, until Travis is back, is this something you would want to do? And I showed him our program of instruction, and he said, yes, but I actually have my own program of instruction that covers all of your stuff plus some more. And I'm like, really? I'm interested. Tell me about it. So this class is actually 2 days long instead of only 1 day. And it is geared very, very much not just towards gunshot wounds, but all kinds of other medical emergencies that you, the concerned citizen, you, the capable citizen, will be prepared for. So anyways, that is in August, and I want to say it's mid to late August. We're going to do it here in Tennessee. Air-conditioned classroom, time outside, lots and lots of good stuff, guys. Tropical coconut is my favorite body armor flavor right there. Good stuff right there. I got a little coffee left, guys, but I'm trying to save it because I know I said I would kill the live stream when we were done with it. I got like 2 more sips, guys. We're at an hour and a half already. So anyways, those are my 3 classes I got coming up, all right? Home defense pistol, low light, no light shooting, and then practical medical solutions. All great classes indeed. And yeah, without a doubt, guys, without a doubt. All right. Going once, going twice. If you guys have any questions, send them over to me. We're going to make one last request here, JT, for questions. Let's see what we got here. He just sent me one. Swipe. Carl, can plants in a pot stop a bullet like sandbags if they're big enough? Rob, yes. Actually, everything can stop bullets if it's big enough. And so what I mean by that, literally everything. You get a small plant, right? That little onion coming up out of the ground, it's probably not going to stop a bullet. But you let it grow, all right? And you get that sapling, and next thing you know, you've got a oak tree in your front yard. Now, bullets will zip right through an oak tree. Zip right through it. All right? But it gets about 3 feet thick, and it will stop most bullets. Again, but understand it's different density of woods. Walnut and hickory are going to stop bullets better than, let's say, pine or a balsa wood tree. All right, that's just the truth there. Potted plants, understand the denser you make that soil, all right, you really pack the topsoil in there, it's going to stop better than loose topsoil in your pot. Using ceramic pots will stop bullets better than using a plastic pot. Yeah, see, right? We're here, you're tracking. But everything can stop bullets, guys. Water can stop bullets if you get enough water. All right. I had an old hot tub. We were gonna do the whole John Wick, right? Have the torso in the John Wick. What was it? John Wick 3, I think, where he's in the hot tub. John Wick 2, whichever one it was. John Wick 12. He's in the hot tub. He swims away from the guy while the guy shoots. And then when he runs out of ammo, John Wick swims towards him and blah, blah, blah. But that's real life. A bullet will only go so far in water, all right? A gas tank on a vehicle will work the same way. Obviously, the engine block and the transmission are better, but if you already got 3 people huddled up behind the engine, where's the next place you go hide behind a vehicle? The answer is behind the brake rotors and the axle. Okay, but let's say there's somebody still there, or that you're getting rounds from the front, all right, or diagonally, whatever. The gas tank of a vehicle will slow down and stop bullets depending how much gasoline is in. And the idea that, well, if you're near the gas tank, the car is going to blow up when a bullet hits it, that is so not true. I have actually taking cars out in Kuwait, I want to say it was like 95, 96. We're out in the Kuwaiti desert. It's actually called Uwari National Forest. No. Uwari Range, whatever it is. What's the name of that range in Kuwait? Shit, I got a picture of me at that range. Anyways, we would bring old cars out there. I thought I had one hanging up here. I don't see it, guys. Anyways, I had an SUV out there, and I put fuel into the gas tank and wanted to shoot it. And I shot it with tracers and everything through my sniper rifle, trying to set it off. And it's actually very, very hard to light gasoline. The best way to do it, if you needed to do it, is send a couple rounds through the gas tank right away, then start working other targets. And then after the cloud of dripping gasoline has built the cloud of vapor up underneath the vehicle, then come back and skip a couple tracers underneath the vehicle. Does that make sense? All right. Anyways, yeah, the fine details that you only get on the live stream. That's funny shit, right? All right. A couple more have come in last minute here. Do your med kits and tourniquets in stock from Tracker? Yes, guys, what he's talking about is we sell Tactical Rifleman EDC med kits, and I sell Cat 7 tourniquets. These are made North American Rescue. This is bagged exclusively for me by North American Rescue. There's no Chinesium, there's no counterfeit, nothing. I have basic kits, I have advanced EDC med kits, and I have Cat 7 tourniquets. All of them are in stock. All of them are in stock at our website, tacticalrifleman.com. You can go to our store, and there you'll be able to sign up for classes. You'll see some of our apparel you can order. You can get like TR stickers and stuff like that, coffee cups. You can get our med kits, our patches, our stickers, tourniquets, and I need to add the TR sling. I do need to add that. And then you can click on our Amazon store. If you go to my Amazon store, guys, I have a book list there. I did the book list because I mentioned books for you guys to buy, and I want to make sure you get the correct books. So that was basically my whole reason for doing it, right? Is because there are different books that have the same names. There are different versions of books. So I put the links, so that's my book list. If you guys want to see Carl's book list, go to my Amazon store at tacticalrifleman.com. And then I have a gift list and a couple other lists there of stuff that I added years ago. I haven't really updated it. It's on my to-do list. But the big thing, though, is while you're there, I asked that if you're going to go to Amazon anyways, right? Click on Amazon through my through tacticalrifleman.com, and that way I get credit for you being there. It doesn't cost you any extra money, but it takes money away from Amazon. Isn't that nice? You can get money sent to me and the film crew. It actually goes to the film crew. They set that part up. But at the end of the year, they take what they've made off of videos. I take what I've made off of Patreon. We put them together, and then we divide it down the middle. I split everything with my film crew out of New York City, guys. It's not really, it is what it is, right? They helped me set up this channel here. All right, a couple more have come in. Carl, do you have an O2 tank with your med stuff? Was looking on getting one, just wondering if you keep one. I do not, all right? Here's the deal. If you have somebody that needs long-term oxygen, get an oxygen generator, all right? An electric-powered one that you can keep at the house. That was when my mother-in-law had her lung removed because she had lung cancer. She had to wear the nasal cannula all the time, and we had an ice storm come through, and we didn't lose power but for like 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes. But there were people in my town that lost power for like 2-3 weeks. Those oxygen bottles only last for so many minutes, and they only give you so many of those as a backup. It didn't matter because my house has a backup generator, and all she had to do was come over here, plug it in the wall, and her oxygen generator would have worked just fine. She has a portable one that runs off of batteries, blah, blah, blah. But as far as you carrying oxygen bottles in the field, unless you're going to have a vehicle set up as an ambulance or as a medevac vehicle, that would be the only way I would look at having dedicated oxygen bottles. All right, it just weighs too much, and you're not getting enough bang for the buck out of it. Understand, especially if someone has blood loss, oxygen is one of the best things that you can give them. But more important is you're being able to move them quickly to a place that has definitive care or the next echelon of care, and that includes oxygen when you get there. So slowing your movement down and dragging oxygen around, I don't do that. We still have the oxygen generator at the house, so I guess you could say I guess technically I have oxygen at the house. I do. It's a big, expensive one too. All right, but I do not have oxygen bottles. I do not. All of my compressed bottles all have explosive gases in them, propane, stuff like that. Guys, don't be freaking out. All right. There was a couple other questions that came in. All right. Don't get me wrong, Anime. I'm not against you having oxygen bottles for certain situations, especially if you live like up in the mountains and stuff. You have people that are having high altitude sickness, people that are getting hypoxic. Then those like what they call them, one hits or something like that. They're oxygen bottles that are just, you put a little mask, and you would do better off actually ordering like a bailout bottle that we had on vehicles and helicopters, because it's like 2 minutes of air, and you don't have to take hits off of it. All right, next question coming in. Clark Abripi, sorry if I slaughtered your name, dude. Did you ever hear of the periodical The Resistor when you were in the 5th group? I did not. I've never heard of the periodical The Resistor. I'll tell you what, though. Sounds cool. Sounds like a little bit of 5th group history. The Resistor. You know, I grew up, right, understanding that I wanted to be a Green Beret. And back in the day, right, no internet, no nothing like that. We would, right, you had Mad Magazine, and you had Playboy Magazine, and you had Soldier of Fortune Magazine. Those were and Field and Stream. Those were the 4 magazines. That was about the only 4 magazines that I can remember when I was a kid. And I always enjoyed reading the articles in Soldier of Fortune magazine. And I thought like some of these guys are nutbags, but they were there were a lot of old Vietnam vets that needed their fix, and they needed to still do stuff like that. And they were angry. They came home and didn't get the greeting that they deserved. And that, but if you look at the world today, Soldier of Fortune's gone, but look at the internet and look at how all the veterans that we have now, your special ops guys, former special ops guys, we have outlets now. We got a lot more ranges that we can go to, a lot more tactical stuff, a lot more places where you can interact with other people like you. Is there still a lot of contracting going on like you used to do, Soldier of Fortune? Yes, very much so. Matter of fact, it's probably tenfold now, because now the State Department, they don't have any armed employees at all, very few. What I mean by that, and they carry guns, right, to protect themselves from you. But when they go overseas, they hire contractors, Blackwater, Triple Canopy, all these other companies, and half these companies come and go. They rechange their names, all that stuff. But I just got an email the other day. Group of SF guys, from my old unit, they're like, hey, look, we need 70 former SF guys. Send your resume and your DD-214. That's basically your military. If you guys haven't seen don't know what a military DD-214 is. That's my military 214. Yeah, it's got an extra blank page for where it says continued on back. And don't bother rewinding and zooming in. You won't be able to read any of it. Wow. Because there are blocks, to like list the schools that you've been to. Because most people in the military might go to 4 or 5 different schools. My school list is completely full, and then it says continued on back page. And then where it says deployments, right? Most people deploy 2 or 3 times. They might do 2 combat deployments, 3 combat deployments. Mine goes, I don't know how many there are. I just know it says continued on back page. And then it says awards. And that's a smaller box because you understand most people don't get that many awards in the military. And it says continued on back page. And it just goes on and on and on. But anyways, this is what you would send to someone. Guys, you can pull these off of government websites. The only thing you'll get is you'll get this exact thing, but it'll have the social security number blacked out like it is right there. So I heard somebody say on the internet once that he had pulled up Larry Vickers' DD-214 and proved that he was a fraud because he was saying that he had so many awards, and it turns out he didn't have one, and that means he's a fraud. And the whole time I'm thinking, dude, you're a fucking ass clown. You're on the internet. You're trying to put people down. You understand? Larry Vickers was a Delta operator. And the more I thought about it, when they type up your DD-214, like your last 5 days in the Army. They did my DD-214. I was deployed. My last deployment to Iraq was within a couple months of me getting out. I literally came back from Iraq and basically took 2 weeks and got out of the Army. So I did my DD-214. Well, about 4 months later, I got asked to come back in. They had me meet them at a bar, and it was O'Connor's, a little Irish pub. And they had the colonels there, sergeant major, all these people. And they gave me my retirement award and my last Bronze Star. And I thought about it when this guy was saying Larry Vickers doesn't have all of his awards on his DD-214. And I actually went and looked, and I was like, yeah, my I want to say my third MSN or whatever, my third Bronze Star is not on my DD-214. And you know what? I don't care. And I imagine Larry Vickers would say the same thing. He'd be like, who gives a shit? You know, because here's the deal. When you're in the military, when you're in the military, you you're a young private and you get that first Army Achievement Medal. It's like a big deal because you've only got the thank you for joining the Army ribbon, and then you get that extra one, and all of a sudden you've just doubled the tossed salad on your uniform, and it's like awesome. And then you get an Army Commendation Medal, and then you get this, you get that. You go to Air Assault School and you get Air Assault wings with a little helicopter on it, and awards meant a lot. Early on my career, E5, I got my Expert Infantryman's badge, and I want to say I had like 5 or 6 ribbons. I got a Army Commendation Medal, even though all the squad leaders and above were supposed to get Bronze Stars. 101st really didn't do shit in Desert Storm, so we didn't get Bronze Stars. But the I had my EIB, I had my combat patch, this, that, and the other. After Desert Storm, then I had my Combat Infantryman's badge and my Expert Infantryman's badge. Then you go SF, and now you've got Airborne wings, and you've got Senior Parachutist wings, and then you've got Jumpmaster wings, and then you get I had my Expert Field Medical badge, and then I got my Combat Medic badge, and then I got this badge, and I got that badge. And I think when I retired, I was wearing, I want to say 16 or 17 ribbons on my uniform. I looked like Manuel Noriega. I looked like a Mexican general. When I retired, they told me I was actually authorized to wear 22 ribbons. Okay. I never wore 22 ribbons. But the reality is what matters is not your DD-214. What matters is not how much bling you got, up on your uniform, your tossed salad and everything. There is a picture of me with my wife, and I don't know if you guys can see all the tossed salad, all the bullshit, guys. But yeah, literally, I mean, look at all that junk on my chest, right? What matters is not awards. What matters is when you walk through the airport, and you're not even going to see them. You're not going to see them. But sitting off to the side is going to be a couple soldiers over there, and they're gonna point at you, and they're gonna bump their buddy. They're gonna rub their buddy. Hey man, you see that guy right there? You see that motherfucker right there? That motherfucker stepped all over his troops to advance his career. He's a piece of shit. Or they're gonna say, hey, you see that motherfucker right there? I would follow that son of a gun through the gates of hell right now if he asked me to go with him. I would walk through the gates of hell with that guy. He was awesome. That's what really matters. What really matters is, at the end of the day, how well did you do your job? All that matters is accomplishment of the mission and care and welfare of the troops. And I didn't always do great. I didn't. There were a lot of times I feel, looking back, I could have taken care of my guys better. But I know that I tried as hard as I could. I really do. I know I tried as hard as I could. So it is what it is. All right. I had a couple more coming. You guys are really trying to drag this out for 2 hours. Oh, Alpha Omega Carl, what's your best mid-level gas mask to recommend? Go to Mirror Safety, guys. I don't get a kickback. I don't have an affiliate code. Mirror Safety, all their stuff is brand new. It's all NATO quality stuff. All right, made in different countries. They get it sourced from different places, but it's not like you're buying stuff that's expired and you're getting it at a gun show. All right, old U.S. military surplus that's already starting to dry rot. Mirror Safety's masks and filters and everything is brand new stuff, and they've got whatever design you want. All right, good stuff there. And Paul American, Carl, was there ever a capability that got to your team that blew your mind knowing it was being used? A capability. No, I thought cell phone targeting, when we first started doing cell phone targeting, I thought that that was very cool. I can't get into the specifics here. I cover it in classes at length. What I cover is not classified. All right. I was never read off of the top secret end of SIGINT targeting, but there is a declassified portion that I talk about at, for example, Battle Rifle 1. We talk a lot of tactics in theory at Battle Rifle 1, and I talk about SIGINT targeting and how it affects the battlefield today. But I don't get into anything crazy classified. But I will not do that on the open internet, because even though it's not classified, a lot of it is still sensitive. All right, cell phone targeting is very, very cool, but a lot of other technology, thermals, for example, they're not the end all be all that a lot of people think they are. They're just not. UAVs, a lot of UAVs they're just not the end all be all. They're really not. They're really not. That's it, guys. But as far as different technologies, things that are coming along, AI is going to change a lot of stuff, and it's basically just going to make things go faster. All right, it's literally AI is going to make things go faster. There are already people saying that you know, the whole theme of the Terminator movies was that AI finally became self-aware and takes over. All right, there are already people, big head people that are predicting that stuff, that, yeah, literally going to happen. Really enjoying the live stream tonight. Great leadership advice. Thanks for what you do. That's from John. Well, dude, I appreciate that. I do. The funniest shit, getting guys texting me in the middle of live streams. Cool. Cool. Steve Holland. You interested in shooting and video the Mark 44 suppressed tomorrow afternoon? This is Steve asking me if I want to shoot a suppressed minigun tomorrow afternoon. Sounds fun, but swamped tomorrow. I will ask Nick. I'll see if my son wants to go film a suppressed minigun tomorrow. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap this up. Everybody got their questions in. You little rat bastards made me do 2 hours. You realize you guys sat through 2 hours of verbal diarrhea. I want that to sink in. And seriously, I want that to sink in. You guys have been here for 2 hours. Some of you guys. Now, mind you, not all of you guys, but a lot of you guys have been here for 2 hours. That's impressive. That really is. I am very, very proud of you guys for being able to do that. You made me sit through this stuff. All right, so once again, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to my moderators. I want to thank my patrons on Patreon. Sincerely, this was our worst month ever as far as making money off of YouTube. They have completely demonetized us to the level where it's just crazy. I mean, crazy. We made more money off of YouTube when we had less than 100,000 subscribers. They have crushed the hell out of us. So how do I keep this channel afloat? Honestly, I keep this channel afloat with the support of you guys on Patreon. Now, I know you guys are here. This is a free live stream, and I got to do a little bit of advertisement for my classes, but the reality is it's always the same 100 people. I asked that you guys promote share my videos with other people so I can get the word out there that we are still doing classes. Because I make a little bit of money teaching classes, but I'm passionate about making the world a better place. I'm passionate about teaching, but if I don't have anybody sign up for classes, then I'm not making any money doing that either. So that leaves me Patreon. And if I didn't have Patreon right now, I would not be able to keep my son employed, right? My son is my only employee. I would not be able to get, I wouldn't be able to do all this. I wouldn't. So I know it's the same 108 people here tonight that I always have. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I do. You are loyal followers, and I am glad to have you. But I ask you guys to support us on Patreon. Honest, for the cost of a fufu latte at some coffee place, I know some of you guys are saying I brew my own coffee. Okay, fine. For the cost of a couple burgers at Sonic, you can be a mid-level patron. That's pretty good. And we do some pretty good content there. We really do. Next week, we just did story time this week. Last week was a quick tip video. And next week, I do the question and answer video. And the following week is a Zoom live stream, which is not like this live stream. The Zoom live stream, all the Silver Star patrons, it's like the Brady Bunch. You've got all their faces on the screen at the same time. It's not a chat room. It is no shit. Everybody's there. Everybody can talk. Everybody can interact with each other. And we truly have us a great time. We really, really do. So anyways, that's my shameless pitch for Patreon. All right. Yeah, sincerely, you guys are awesome. I appreciate your support here. Next Tuesday, we're looking to have Steve Holland back here. Maybe, actually next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I got a surprise for you. Redbeard Tactical Joe from Mid-South Institute of Combat Shooting. Great guy, great instructor. He's gonna come up here. We're gonna be filming some shorts, and if I can get him to spend the night, I think he's gonna. We're gonna film Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday morning. He should be here for the live stream, and I'll get him on here. You guys are gonna have a great time. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Y'all take care and shoot straight.
Incoming right there.